in racing trophy race, and this over 1.25 miles, Hot Prospect in, and the 8 runners locked away. And they're off. Jeremy's Girl bounced away smartly in the centre to show in the lead, being followed by Singe the Turf. Defining Year and Diplomat come next. Ebazan, racing wide of them is Declaration of War. Whatever Jack says is next, and Hot Prospect is the back marker. Beginning now to make their way towards the end of the first furlong, and Jeremy's Girl continues in front, followed by Diplomat second, Singe the Turf on the outside of Ebazan, Defining Year on the inside of Declaration of War. Whatever Jack says is followed up by Hot Prospect. They're racing on past the mile pole and shortly beginning to climb up towards the top of the hill as Jeremy's Girl bowls along in the lead for Shane Gray. Diplomat and Pat Smullen second, Ebazan and Colin O'Donoghue towards the inside of Singe the Turf and Kevin Manning. They're being followed by Defining Year, Declaration of War, Whatever Jack says, and Hot Prospect. Beginning now to reach the top of the track and shortly now make the descent down for the home turn as Jeremy's Girl bowls along 2 in front of Diplomat. Singe the Turf is third and Nebazan 4. Declaration of War tracks them in 5th place as they begin now to make the descent, taking them down towards the turn in. Defining Year is followed by Whatever Jack says, and the back marker is Hot Prospect. So they're coming on now to past the 5 and race now for the turn in. Jeremy's Girl in the lead from in 2nd place is Diplomat. Singe the Turf is third, Ebazan 4, Declaration of War, and then comes Defining Year with Whatever Jack says and Hot Prospect. Racing now towards the turn in, half a mile to go. Jeremy's Girl, Diplomat, Singe the Turf, being followed by Ebazan. Declaration of War is 5th and a couple of lengths to Defining Year. Racing off the elbow now with just over 2.5 to go, and Jeremy's Girl is the leader, followed by Diplomat, then Declaration of War improving steadily on the outside of Ebazan, Singe the Turf, and Defining Year. Jeremy's Girl in front from Diplomat and Declaration of War. Ebazan trying to stay on in between them. They're racing now to the final furlong, and on the far side, Jeremy's Girl being hard pressed now by Declaration of War on the near side, and racing inside the last 200 now. It's Declaration of War and Joseph O'Brien going to put him back level with Pat Smullen. Interesting battle now for the title. Ebazan is on the outside of Jeremy's Girl and Diplomat. It's close for the placings behind Declaration of War. Hot Prospect, Singe the Turf, Defining Year, and Whatever Jack says. White flag is raised, and they're off. Beginning now to make their way up in front of the stands. Along came Casey over towards the far side in the centre. Aloof and Light Heavy improving on the outside, followed by Muck and Browse, and then comes Salam Aleikum. In between horses into the turn is Prince Al Zain, and tracking them on the inside is Declaration of War, and they're being followed into the turn. On the outside, Black Spirit. So racing now into the back straight, and Aloof takes it up from Light Heavy second. Along came Casey and Muck and Browse. Salam Aleikum is 5th and Declaration of War 6th. Black Spirit is next with Banner Burke on the inside. These are being followed by Barak, with just on their outside is Prince Al Zain, and tracking Prince Al Zain on the far side is Brandon Bracken, just ahead of Honourable Emperor. Racing on down the far side now, and Aloof's the leader, followed by Light Heavy in second. Disputing third is Along Came Casey with Muck and Brass. Aloof and Light Heavy. Along Came Casey, Muck and Brass 4. Salam Aleikum and Declaration of War. They're being followed by Black Spirit, Banner Burka. Barak is next with Prince Al Zain, and then comes Brandon Bracken, followed by Honourable Emperor. Heading across the bottom of the track now to begin the run towards the final half mile, and Aloof and Wayne Lorden lead. Light Heavy Kevin Manning, followed in third place towards the inside by Along Came Casey and Pat Smullen. Muck and Brass close up Fergal Lynch, and then comes Salam Aleikum, Declaration of War, Black Spirit and Banner Burka, Brandon Bracken, Prince Al Zain, Barak, and Honourable Emperor. Racing on now towards the 2 in the Diamond Stakes, and Aloof over on the far side. Light Heavy, Muck and Brass. Along came Casey, Declaration of War, just in behind them with Salam Aleikum. Brandon Bracken on the inside. Aloof the leader. leader now from along came Casey. Declaration of War making ground in the centre of the track. Racing now to the final 200 yards. Along came Casey and Pat Smollen. Declaration of War on the near side. Joseph O'Brien running up to the finish. Declaration of War wins it for Joseph O'Brien. Second, along came Casey. Aloof, Brendan, Bracken, Light, Heavy, Benaburka, Prince Al Zain. Barak is next. Salam Aleikum, Black Spirit, Muck and Brass, and Honourable Emperor.
Result of the fifth race, the Diamond Stakes, 9-7-13, and a photo for fourth place. 9-7-13, and a photo for fourth place.
Declaration of War made up the line. The American challenger John Velasquez nearest to us. The red cap, they jump out of the stalls, and Gabriel completely misses it, and maybe even a little bit reluctant to go with them. Trade Storm wasn't well away either. Librano in the yellow jacket from Elusive Kate on the far side. Light blue is Penitent. Animal Kingdom is tugging hard on the near side of Monsieur Chevalier. The early pace not frenetic. Further back on the far side in the dark blue jacket is Declaration of War. Then Gregorian, Black Sleeves, Trumpet Major, Sovereign Debt, Trade Storm, Al Jameh here in a blue and white striped cap, followed by Chill the Kite, and Gabriel is now just about in touch, but about 8 or 9 lengths behind the leader, which is Librano. So they cover the first 3 furlongs now and heading towards the halfway stage in this Group 1 Queen Anne Stakes, the first race of Royal Ascot 2013, and Librano by a length to the filly Elusive Kate. Penitent is close in third, away to the left, then Monsieur Chevalier. On the right is Animal Kingdom within about 3 lengths off the lead, then Trumpet Major, followed by Declaration of War, Gregorian. Al Jameh here behind horses from Chill the Kite. He gets to work on Animal Kingdom, he's pushing away Velasquez, and the challenger's in big trouble here and falling back through the field. Meanwhile, Penitent on the left of Elusive Kate and Librano. Then on the far side, Gregorian and Al Jameh here, both finishing off well. Declaration of War can't get through. He's stuck for a run. Is Gregorian and Elusive Kate with Al Jameh here between them. Now Declaration of War has got daylight on the near side and declares war on the opposition and swoops through to win. Declaration of War wins the Queen Anne.
And they're off for the Coral-Eclipse. On the inside, Mukadram has taken the early lead, and Al-Kazim, who broke very alertly, goes with him, only just a half length away, racing in second, but little pace on in the early stages. Now, Mars begins to make his presence felt towards the outside of Mukadram, and Mukadram has a lead of 3 parts of a length. Now a length to Mars racing in second, and Al-Kazim a further length and a half away in third. Declaration of War making a little bit of a move on the outside of Al-Kazim, followed by the Fugue, who's racing generously towards the outside of Pastorius. Another one who's taking a keen hold early with Miblish towards the inside rail. They go inside the final 3/4 of a mile of the 2013 running of the Coral-Eclipse, and Mukadram has got an easy lead here by a length and a tail. Mars, the 3-year-old, racing in second. Al-Kazim, the blue and white diamonds, to the inside in third. Followed out wide by Declaration of War in a very close fourth. 3 wide going into the turn is the filly, the Fugue. Pastorius now shuffled back towards the rear of the field. He's now last, and Miblish hugs that inside rail. The whole field covered by only 3.5 lengths as they now make the turn with just over a half mile to go in the Coral-Eclipse. Mars towards the outside of Mukadram. These are still the first 2, followed by Al-Kazim, and Declaration of War has always been his shadow. Miblish towards the inside rail. The Fugue keeping Pastorius in a pocket as they race inside the final 3, and now Mukadram presses on. He has Mars been ridden in second. Al-Kazim looks for a seam between horses, then Declaration of War out wide. Mukadram inside the final quarter mile still has the lead in the Coral-Eclipse, but here comes Al-Kazim. Mars and Declaration of War. The Fugue has not fired today. Down towards the final furlong, Mukadram is digging gamely to the inside rail. Al-Kazim an all-out drive. They've got 150 yards to go. Al-Kazim has got the lead for James Doyle. Back in second is Mukadram. Declaration of War begins to fly. They've got now 50 yards to go, and Al-Kazim wins the Coral-Eclipse. Declaration of War was second.
2013 running of the Juddmonte International. Al-Kazim was a little jittery in the gate. They jump away. And now where is the pace coming from? Kevin Manning on the near side on Trading Leather. As expected, has gone on into the lead, not blisteringly quick. Al-Kazim in second, then in third on the near side in the dark blue jacket, Declaration of War, and the yellow cap is Hill Star. Toronado, Richard Hughes trying to get him switched off in 5th place, and the rank outsider rewarded at the back of the field. Now they're beginning to stride on a bit, trading leather by a length and a half to Al-Kazim, shadowing the leader in 2nd place. In third, Declaration of War. Then Hill Star, 11.24 for the 2nd furlong, is getting quicker. Behind these is Toronado and then Rewarders. They race against the trees on the far side and head for the final 7 furlongs. 38 miles an hour. 11.88 for the 3rd furlong. Trading Leather is an honest pace here. A length and a half to Al-Kazim. Declaration of War and Joseph O'Brien on the near side. Hill Star is 4th. Toronado will be covered up. Richard Hughes will play his hand late in all likelihood, and then 2 more lengths to Rewarded at the rear of the field. They're on their way to the home turn now and heading for the last 4.5 furlongs down the home straight. Trading Leather, Kevin Manning from James Doyle in second on Al-Kazim, seeking his 4th Group 1 win. Declaration of War, Hill Star. Toronado still getting cover in behind, but now they're really beginning to pile it on here, and Hughes is getting to work on Toronado. He's desperately trying to get a blow in here as Al-Kazim cruises up on the outside of Trading Leather. In third is Declaration of War, Hill Star. Toronado will do well to win from there. Al-Kazim just about wearing away at Trading Leather. Declaration of War is thrusting down the outside and looks a big danger as they pull clear of Hill Star now, and Declaration of War takes over from his second. Trading Leather battling on well. Al-Kazim flattening out a little bit as they race up towards the line. Declaration of War by a length to Trading Leather, and Declaration of War wins the battle of the Knavesmire in the Juddmonte International.
2 more to go into the gate. Will Take Charge has taken his spot, and here's Flat Out up to the outside stall, and they're all in line for America's richest horse race. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And Game On Dude had a good start this year. He is up and on the pace. Moreno's fast early, and Mucho Macho Man and Fort Larned are close too. Then it's Declaration of War, Painter, Punter Will Take Charge on the far outside. Palace Malice Flat Out, and Last Gunfighter as they go by us the first time. And Moreno is the leader, and Fort Larned and Game On Dude are right alongside. And they ran the first quarter in 23 and 2/5 seconds. It's a decent pace, and these 3 are across the track into the clubhouse turn. And then it's Declaration of War just to the inside of Mucho Macho Man, who's in 5th. 3 lengths to make up for Mucho Macho Man. Then Punter to the outside of Painter. Palace Malice Will Take Charge is only 5 lengths off the lead. The pace appears to be slowing, and the pack is closing in. Flat Out is next, and Last Gunfighter's only 10 from the top as they run up the backstretch of 46 1/2 mile. Fort Larned, last year's winner, on top on the outside of Moreno. Mike Smith and the Dude, 3rd on the outside. Then Declaration of War and Mucho Macho Man Will Take Charge. Punter between horses. Painter is on the rail, 5 lengths off the lead. Palace Malice and Flat Out are next, and Last Gunfighter is the trailer. And they went 3/4 of a mile in 1:10.1. And Fort Larned is the leader. And Game On Dude and Mucho Macho Man are alongside. And Palace Malice comes on too. Declaration of War is in it. Moreno has given way. Will Take Charge and Flat Out are next. And Mucho Macho Man has taken the lead as they come to the top of the stretch. Game On Dude is all out. Cutting the corner is Fort Larned. Will Take Charge. Declaration of War coming too. A furlong to run. Mucho Macho Man. Declaration of War.